What's it mean to be from the West Side? Because that just seems every time I talk to someone from the West Side, it seems like it's just a lot of pride to be from over there, and just it's a very specific kind of Chicago culture, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Especially like right now, a lot of the music is South. So when you see like a West Sider rapping, it's a lot of pride in what we got. I think that's just because too, it's everybody around there kind of knows each other, especially in my hood. Like
Hmm.
it's Chicago is still like a little suburb, bro. It's crazy, man. So everybody knows each other, bro.
Oh yeah.
So
What
yeah.
makes hip hop important to you specifically?
I mean, just that it's been in my life since I was a young kid, man. And like everything that I do pertains to it. You know what I mean? Like every aspect of my life,
Hmm.
it's been around me. You know what I mean? From fucking my family, like my friends, everybody literally just I mean, you see people smoking weed, they talking about it, like going to the club talking about it, like people on the streets rapping. I mean, that's a big West Side thing too. I mean, Twista and all them, man, it was huge,
Hmm.
huge on Madison, man, over there. So yeah, it's just big part of me, man.
Oh
Gotta
yeah.
be.
Who were some of the earliest people you started listening to when you first started
Big,
listening to hip hop?
big L. Again, I got a lot of like Mexican influence. So I mean, it was Big Pun that was I was listening to a lot of the Latino artists, all at Cypress Hill. My favorite though, on like the top two,
Mm,
was Big L and Biggie. Man, those was like
that's dope.
favorites, bro. My favorites. That's dope.
What inspired you to start creating, and why did you start creating? And as far as hip hop goes.
I mean, just again, just being around it for so long, and then on top of that, like just me and my friends just messing around, just like any scenario with this rap shit. I feel like sometimes a lot of this stuff started just weak freestyles that I didn't even, know what I was talking about. So then it just started progressing into writing, and it just, man, it just kind of took it and flew from there. But again, I was a big concert person before I ever started watching or rapping. I was watching shows, watching a lot of like artists. Like the come up for me was crazy on a lot of these artists that are here now. I watched them come up, so that's was an exciting thing for me. So to be actually rapping is enjoyable to see the whole process of where I've been and where I am now.
Hell yeah! Is there a certain time or like a certain instance or experience you can look to where you realize that your art can have an impact on other people, or did it kind of just gradually happen, or was there maybe like one moment that you're like, "Damn, this is dope. This can
I
help some people."
I say it like this. For me, it became just something I was doing with my friends, and then I just seen that I was inspiring people, or people were really enjoying it.
Hmm.
Um, the biggest thing I was doing shows and at the shrine, a couple kids came up to me like, "Hey, we've seen you before." One kid told me I have your sticker. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. Shows me the sticker and he's like, "I'm from France." It's like, whoa. And I had only been rapping for like a year and a half. This is
Dang.
2016, 20, 2013, 2014. So it's like stuff like that. Like, wait, what? I just couldn't understand it. Certain little stuff like that, man, just sticks with you.
How do
So,
you make like love or positive energy overpower hate or like negative energy on a day to day basis?
oh man, I mean, biggest thing for me is just you got to stick to what you know and like don't take opinions personally, man. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be thrown at you and anything that you're
Mm,
doing when it comes to creativity. You know what I mean? Because like the 9 to 5 job gets you so stuck to where you think that you have to do that shit, and then everybody else around you, especially when you're creating. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but when you're creating, it feels like a lot of negative energy comes from that towards those styles. No, man, get you a 9 to 5. My mom, family, friends, everybody used to tell me that all the time. Like, you're 28 now, you're 30. I don't think you should, it was constant, So for
yeah.
me, I just had to think of always of the positive shit to happen, you know what I mean? And just kind of go and look at that, you know what I mean? Because constructive criticism is really the only thing that's going to push forward and make you a better person in anything that you're doing, period.
Hell yeah. I think that's some of the best advice I've ever gotten and try to implement every day because if you shut down constructive criticism, how the hell are you going to improve? So,
No,
hell yeah.
and I mean, and, 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 uh, and to go off of that, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause, 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 you know what I mean? uh, like it's a lot of hood shit too, man. And when you're from the hood, it's kind of hard to listen to people sometimes because you don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like people could give you some constructive criticism, and you could be like, "Wait, what you talking about? Oh, this it's happened to me before." You know what I mean? And you really sit down and listen and be like, "Nah, they was actually trying to tell you something." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in your brain and your hard ass head, you know what I mean? You're just like, nah. But you sit down, you think about it. You know, people are trying to help. You know what I mean? So,
Is there anything that you do in particular to try to combat that maybe like just instinctive like maybe notion to react in like cause you said not to take things personal, but sometimes it hits a nerve and you do take it personal. So
it
how
is.
like how do you
It's
rein yourself in and be like, all right, nope, I can't react like that. Like I got to
always
take a breath. Like
when I was young, I heard this a lot, and it was like, if you think that you've got it bad, just think about that and say, "Oh man, I got it bad," and then think about somebody else that's completely more fucked up than you are.
damn.
And I think that kind of helps you out a little bit. And sometimes it's going to help you, but again, you know, we all have shitty days. We all have situations that hit us where it's like, man, you fucking stub your toe. All of a sudden now you're yelling at the person at the Chase Bank for no reason. You know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
just like you just have to like figure out what you're gonna do. And sometimes it can happen to people that you know, people that you don't know, like your loved ones, all that. You just kind of have to figure it out and go from there. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Man, so you got a show coming up with Crime Apple on
Yeah,
Saturday,
yeah.
April 22nd with Danielson, Lord Jamonti Ogban. That's at Magoo's Bar. 8 o'clock is the doors, 9 o'clock the show. What makes you most excited for that show in particular?
You know what? That show, so we had that show in March. I bid on that show in March of last year, and I was gonna bring them out. We actually had some issues with venues, and we weren't able to get the venues. And I'm glad that that actually happened at that point because we were shooting for August for the show to actually pop up.
Mm,
So I did finally, when I did finally get the bid and say that I wasn't going to be able to do it. My mom was getting sicker. She actually passed in August, so
oh man, my
it was
condolences.
a it was one of those things for me that it was like it was beneficial that I didn't do the show and all those
Mm-hmm.
things happened,
Yeah.
as opposed to you know what I mean, me doing the show and it would have just been fucking haywire, bro.
Yeah. I guess to kind of piggyback off of that, are you somebody who believes in like everything happens for a reason then?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? Most
Where
definitely.
what do
You
you
know,
do when you're in a situation? Because I feel like I like to use the phrase "breaks my brain." Like when you just, I feel like sometimes we as humans like naturally want to know why, and I feel like that is sometimes my downfall. Like sometimes I can't get over this hump, and this hump is like why, and it's stopping me from making progress. So
right.
is there what maybe tools or like how do you try to get over that hump of why if you can't like if you can't understand it, we sometimes there's just things we're never going to have the answer to until we're
Right.
supposed to. So
Right. And that just goes exactly like I said, kind of with the stub in your toe kind of thing, man. You just
mm-hmm.
have to know, like, we're all human, and you know, like, sometimes you know, like, there's a situation that's at hand, and it's like, oh man, how am I going to deal with this? But at the same time, like you said, there's some positive or some reason why shit happens that way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my biggest thing is just like, man, just stay full force and try to stay on top of what you can, man, and always be just truthful with yourself. You know what I mean? I've had so many different obstacles thrown at me with this music shit and throwing
Mm.
shows, having other shows with certain people and this guy and this guy. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? So you just have to be able to understand, like, when you're collaborating with people, when you're doing your own thing, like, you just have to know there's going to be hiccups every time. It doesn't matter.
Hell yeah.
One that's so smooth, be like, hey, this is probably never going to happen again. Like, this will probably never happen again. This smooth ride. So it's like you just always want to be prepared for the bumps.
Word. We got a. I like this question from Drew in the chat. What do you bring to a potluck?
Oh my God. If you know
It's a great question, Drew.
early morning shows, I'll just say that. If you know, we do the edibles, man. The edibles are Either the Rice Krispies or the chocolates, man. You know what I'm saying? Milk chocolates, we don't fuck around, bro. You already
Hell
know.
yeah, man! I love the answer. Let's see. I piggyback a little bit off the upcoming show. What has been your favorite performance that you've done so far? Where was it at, and what made it so memorable?
It's probably Canada. Canada. I
Ooh,
just
dope.
did, yeah, with the bro Daniel's son.
Nice.
That one, it was, yeah, it was the week that my mom had passed. I wasn't even gonna go to the show. She just literally told me like, shut the fuck up and just go. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just went. You know what I mean? And I did the Montreal show. That one was great. My mom and my sister was calling me like, look, ma, it's so bad you gotta come home. And I just thought about what she had said, and I was like, nah, like if whatever's gonna happen has happened. So I thought like there's no way that I was gonna make it home in time to see her due to Rush being closed at a certain amount of time. So from me flying all the way back home that night, I wasn't even be able to see her.
Hmm.
So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna do the Toronto show. I booked this first flight out in the morning. Um, I was sitting in my hotel. I wasn't even gonna. It was like I didn't even know if I wanted to do it, even though I was still there.
Yeah.
I ended up doing it. It was one of just the best reactions from the crowd of you telling them, pouring out your feelings. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, one of the best, man. Period.
Connecting with people is dope. Oh, we got another question from chat. What's your favorite Chicago pizza?
Oh man, there's so many. You can't really ask me that. There's so many,
There's
bro.
a lot.
I'll go with
Okay, well,
the
what's your
hood.
favorite
The hood.
style?
No, Benny's Pizza.
Okay.
Fuck it, Benny's Pizza. If I had to, Benny's Pizza. Yep,
Hell yeah.
yep. Or Constantino's back in the day on Archer and fucking like what was it? It's like Archer in Harlem. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. You know, when I was a kid, I did all of the stuffed pizzas. I still like shit once in a while, but that's not my thing. I'm a tavern kind of guy now. You know.
Word. The thinner, the better for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the next few questions I got kind of introduce you to my brand, Talking Truth, a little bit, and still tie into some personal questions with you.
Hmm.
In particular, there's four parts of my logo that are represented by a tree. A tree is pretty prevalent in my brand. I think it represents growth in several
Yeah.
different ways. The roots, so in particular on my logo, the roots represent your core values. They define who you are. The body represents the people that you keep around you. Super important
Mhm.
to keep you strong. The branches represent the experiences that you've had in life, and then the leaves represent, the lessons that you've taken from those experiences.
Okay.
So the first question I got for you, in pertaining to the roots, is what are a few of the core values that define you today?
It's just always be yourself.
Hell yeah.
Never take, never try to take somebody else's shit or, you know what I mean? Like just follow behind somebody's, shit that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like create your own thing, create your own brand, and just be you, man. That's like my number one shit, bro. Number one, man. Just be
Hell yeah.
yourself.
And then again, the body would be the next part of the tree. Why is it so important to keep people around you that are kind of the same mindset, same like-minded individuals? Why is that so important, and how can that help your art?
I mean, just simply because how it's going to keep you as hungry as you want to be. You know what I mean? So I always say, like, if you got somebody that's around you that's not really, they don't know what they want to do, they don't have an idea where they want to go, they don't got really too many goals, you're not going to really progress yourself. You know what I mean? So how can you level up or elevate and you got a bunch of people around you that ain't really doing shit? You know what I mean? So for me, I try to just, especially in rap, I try to work with other artists, work with people that I know are on the same level or higher than I am. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
I want to work. You know what I mean? So you have a million artists in Chicago. 10 of them want to work.
word.
So yeah, that's kind of how I am with that. You know.
Cool. The third part is the branches. Again, the experiences that you've had. So, is there maybe an experience that you've had pertaining to your music that you feel has like helped you grow a lot as a person?
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, there's a couple. I'd say like just fucking up. Trial and error is one of the biggest things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm gonna do this and rushing right into it, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, oh my god, we just spent $1,000 and we done fucked everything up. So I think understanding that and kind of like figuring out where you want to go in life is not going to be just I want to do this, this, and this, and then that's what it's going to be. You're just going to travel to those three destinations and be it. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
going to travel. You might travel to the first destination just like a brand new car and be great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might travel to the second destination and pop your tire, and all of a sudden you're on the side of the highway. And what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So you have to learn from your mistakes. The next time you pop your tire, and the third time, I guarantee you got the spare. You got everything you need to
Mm.
actually equip yourself to move and roll on, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah. That was very well put. I love that. That was a great analogy. The last part of the tree is the leaves. Again, the lessons that you kind of take from those experiences. Is there maybe a lesson that you earned or learned early in life that sticks out, or maybe you think of more often than others?
Yeah, that is the very first one that actually came from the roots is be yourself.
Mm.
Because I don't care who you is, I don't care how much this music shit means you. We all have done something. We're like, oh man, this person's cool. I want to be like Michael Jordan. I want to be, you know what I'm saying, like this and that. But my biggest thing is I did that. I tried to do that when I was younger. I tried to be like, I want to be like this. No, man. Just like be yourself, be who you want to be, and go from there. Cause like once you start latching on and trying to be other shit, you start just fucking up terribly, man. Terribly. You know what I mean? You think about when you're a kid, you'd be like, oh man, my buddy, he's got this bike and I want this bike and I want this and that. It's like all of a sudden now you got this little huffy and you wanted a dyno, you know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
every aspect around you now is negative because I have this and oh my friend had this and I don't have to now I gotta get this. It's a bunch of hassle when you could just be like, you know what? I got this is what I have, and I'm gonna go with it and go for it. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing is just like piggybacking off the roots is, as long as you're gonna be yourself, but at the same time, we all know we all made mistakes. We all try to do
Mm.
some shit or see some shit that you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Would you have any advice, or what advice would you give to somebody who might still be looking for their purpose in life?
Yeah. I mean, just basically look, like I tell people like this, I did rap and a couple other things in my life, period. You know what I mean? Other than that, like I did not try to do 15 or 16 different types of things. You can do that, but sit down, relax, take a second. I always talk to the younger kids and they're like, man, my mom wants me to do this and she wants me to go to college and she wants me to do this. Like, well, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Like think
Mm-hmm.
about it for a couple seconds, you know what I mean, for yourself. And, really meditate, whatever you got to do to focus and see what you want, and it'll come to you. So that's like all I can say, man, is just try to be you, period.
I saw an Instagram post of yours. Your mom always told you not to panic in tough situations.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
tell us maybe about a time when that helped you with your music?
Oh, man, plenty of times. I mean, I've had venues taken away from me. Like I've had places where I was supposed to do a. I'll tell you one big one. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're familiar with Big Ghosts. Everybody's
Oh yeah.
familiar,
Oh yeah.
familiar with Big Ghost. So at the time, I was having some situations again going on with my mom, and Big Ghost had hit me up. He was like, "Hey, I like this song that you have. I want you to get you. I want you to get you on this joint." I'm like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, cool. So he sent me like four songs.
Okay.
He was like, "You can pick any of these joints, that you want to get on." So I was having so many situations and so many rough times at that time. Man, I just skipped a beat, bro, for like
Yeah.
a month. I didn't even listen to him, bro. Got into it about a couple weeks later, wrote the whole verse, sent it to him. He was like, "Sorry, man, like you're too late. Like, sorry about that."
Mm.
That album actually was one of Big Ghost's albums. I forgot the exact name, but long story short, he put out all of the dope like MCs that he wanted. He had
Yeah.
Rizon Lee on there. He had Eson Woods on there. Like
Okay.
everybody,
Yeah.
everybody. And then it's like I tell people like, man, I was supposed to be on the album. Like, oh no, how? I still play the beats. You know what I mean? And
Damn.
it's one of those things where it's like it eats me up alive. You know what I mean? Because it could have changed my career in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? But you, like I said, you can't harp on shit like that. You just have to keep moving and go forward. You know what I mean? So just right there, that was a crazy time for me where I was like, oh, you know what I mean? But hey,
Hell yeah.
life is on, and you got to keep moving.
Man, this is why I love doing interviews too, because like I hear myself give myself the advice, but hearing it from somebody else like gives me more motivation to act in that manner. Like it's like hearing shit from somebody that's not your parents, and then you hear
Right,
it like,
right.
God damn it, why didn't I just like oh,
Listen to
why
your
didn't I
damn
just do
mom in
that?
the first
And
place,
like,
man.
God damn it. So like,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
appreciate you again. Like, thank you for coming on tonight. This has like unlocked so many different and put on so many different light bulbs and like made me think of so many different situations in which I can improve. And that's like the whole reason I started this platform and these interviews is so people can come in here and like hear that shit and motivate themselves and be better. So thanks again
yeah,
for having these conversations with me, man. Because this has been great so far, and I still got some questions if you still got some time. So
yeah. No doubt. Let's do it. You run through them. Let's go.
hell yeah. How do you approach with dealing with loss in life, whether it's sudden or something that may be expected?
I mean, I haven't really dealt with many sudden ones. A lot of the sudden ones are like a lot of my friends that, sorry to say, are in the streets. So at
Mm-hmm.
that, dealing with that shit, you already know what time it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I could give the example of my mom. My mom's been sick with multiple melanoma since 2016.
Mm.
So we knew she was going to pass. We just didn't know when, we didn't know how, we didn't know where.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things where like I was fortunate to know what was happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't one of my good friends. Their family member just passed suddenly. I'm you know what I mean? Like I'm not privy to that. I don't understand. I couldn't understand that or take that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's just one
Word.
of those things where you gotta take your blessings and think about shit as positive as you possibly can.
Hell yeah. Who's somebody that maybe you looked up to outside of your family as a kid and why?
Man, I mean, it's funny, but again, big dreams. It'd probably be like Big Hurt was my biggest fan. I was one of
Mm.
the biggest fans of Frank Thomas, man. For
Fuck
some
yeah,
reason,
dude. That's awesome.
I was just a huge baseball fan, and I grew up around a lot of fucked up shit, man. You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
baseball was kind of like my outlet, bro. Kind of like when I was on the field, that shit let me breathe. You know what I mean? So
Hell
like
yeah.
watching like the OGs, man, that was my thing. You know what I mean? Frank Thomas,
He's getting his statue at Auburn.
man.
They just unveiled and announced that he's getting his statue. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's that guy, man, for
Hell yeah.
sure.
What position did you play in baseball?
Everything, dude. I was a pitcher, first base, catcher. Like,
Did you have a
pitcher
favorite
was my favorite pitcher. Pitcher was my
pitcher?
favorite. Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah.
dope. How do you go about managing expectations on a daily basis? Because you can expect one thing, something else happens, and that used to throw me off really bad. And that I think that's one of the better pieces of advice I've gotten in the last few years is like manage your expectations. The less you expect, the less something is gonna let you down when it doesn't happen. So
Yeah. My thing is like just lean on the people that you know that are gonna fuck with you, because it's
mm,
always like we just talked about. There's always gonna be something that's gonna happen. There's gonna be holes in the boat, my guy. No matter what, no matter what you're doing, who you are. You know what I'm saying? P Diddy, fucking shit, 50 Cent, they all got problems. You just don't hear about it, especially when you got a shitload of money and they know, like, they don't want people to hear their shit because then it just downplays and decreases the money that they got going on.
word.
You know what I mean? So that's how shit goes, man.
Outside of music, what's your favorite way to make somebody smile?
Man, I like talking shit and I like just being funny. I'm a comedian, man. I'm a fucking comedian, bro. I love just making people laugh and talking shit and just being with my friends, man. That's the biggest thing for sure.
Who are some of your favorite comedians? Watch any like Netflix stand-up specials or like
Dion Cole is one of my favorite all time.
who is that you said?
Dion Cole,
Okay, okay.
Chicago guy. Man, I actually watch ton of comedy shit, bro. You know that dude that takes his shirt off, Bert.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude's hilarious. Man, everybody, man. Joe Coy,
Mm.
he's dope. A lot of guys, man. Everybody, man. I like a lot of dudes, man.
Oh yeah. What does success mean to you?
What you make it, like whatever you think success is, man. You know what I mean? Like again, I don't like really looking at other people's success or other people's shit because then you start thinking, oh man, well I need to have that in order for me to win. You know what I mean? So
Mm. There's
that's
a
my opinion.
I think it's a Bernie Mac sample on it's on the end of one of songs by one of my favorite artists. His name is Marcellus Javon, and he talks about running your own race. Why do you got your eyes on other people? Like just focus on
Mhm.
yourself, and everything
Yeah,
should be fine from there. So
it's a
that's
big fact.
perfect.
Man. It's a big
What's the best way for a new fan to support you?
Man, Instagram, that's like my biggest thing, man. Like I just love talking to people, like especially like supporters on Instagram, man. So like anybody ever wants to just come chat, talk to me, it's like unfair for other rappers, bro, because these dudes so like bougie, they don't want to talk to nobody, bro. I'll talk to fucking fans for 45 minutes each person. I don't even have enough time in the day, bro.
That's
Shit.
awesome.
So yeah, Instagram, AM, early morning, all one words. That's simple. Just like the hat, baby.
Hell yeah. And I got one last question. This is the one that I ask everybody on every single thing and kind of end everything up with is what does truth mean to you?
Truth. What does truth mean? I mean, it's shit. Truth is just like it's just like we was talking about earlier. Like being just being in this shit and just doing this, we already know. Like it's just a lot of scheming, it's a lot of fucked up shit that happens in this, man. You know what I mean? So you're gonna see the people that are telling you what they want, what they think you want to hear, and then you're gonna be telling people that's gonna be like, yo, I ain't really like that shit. I ain't, your voice was too raspy on this. Yo, bro, hey, it'd be great if you was doing this and did that. Constructive criticism, what he's talking about. So I think truth is just that, man. It's having people around you that might say something to you that might make you mad as fuck. That might even get you into an argument, but they telling you the truth no matter what, and you know it. So I think
Do you
that's
think it's ever a good time to not be truthful or to maybe like hide the real truth from somebody? Is that ever like an acceptable thing to do? Would you say
if
or
you need to do that, then you need to stay away from whoever the fuck you talking to.
word? That's
Because a lot of
so well
people
said.
a lot of people going this excuse me, a lot of people going to think and say, oh man, you're not truthful, they're doing this, doing it. Okay, you say whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? But for me, you gotta stand your ground as much as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And again, we all make mistakes. We all fucking, you know what I mean, say things we don't want to say or get heated, stub our toe, right? And then we
Mm.
just start snapping off. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like keep the people around you that you know that again, I say it like this, man. You're gonna fight with some people and you're gonna argue with some people, but 9 times out of ten, those the people that you truly love. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're able to stick around a motherfucker after a fight or argument and be able to like gain and elevate with each other, it's better than just screaming and being cool and nice with motherfuckers. Somebody snapping on you, and then all of a sudden, nah, bro, we're cool, we're cool. They
Hmm.
turn around 15 minutes later and they talking shit behind your back to every other person that's gonna do the same thing they do. It's running their mouth. So
Word. Well, shit, man. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Again, it was super insightful for me. I hope you had a decent time and appreciated some of the questions. If you ever need anything, man, whether it's video, you need me to post something about your music, fucking hit me up, man. Like I said, I'm getting back in the swing of things as of today and revamping my whole platform. So the whole reason I started too is to try to help local guys in Chicago do whatever I can for them. So
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Shit, dude. Whatever you need, just hit me up if you need anything at all. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate this. I appreciate that, man. And like I said, the platform is super dope. I appreciate what you're doing here. And I think that people need to just open up more and just continue to do exactly what you're doing, man. Is just, man, try to create a lane and create a place and figure out your process and do what you want to do and just go from there, man. So I appreciate you again for having me on tonight, man. You already know what time it is.
hell yeah. Well, we'll definitely keep in touch, and hope you have a good evening, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I
All
appreciate you,
right.
brother.
Take
Salute.
it easy.
All right.